When did you become invisible? When did servers stop seeing you? When did men stop noticing you? When did even your own family start looking right through you? If you feel like you've disappeared into the background of your own life, I need you to look at your bob right now. Because these 5 subtle mistakes aren't just aging you, they're erasing you. But I'm about to show you how to become visible again. I know this sounds dramatic, but hear me out. 3 months ago, I got an email from a friend, a 42-year-old teacher who said she felt like a ghost in her own life. Her husband barely looked up from his phone, her teenage kids treated her like furniture, and at work events, conversations would literally continue around her like she wasn't even there. The breaking point? When a new colleague was introduced to the team, they shook everyone's hand, except hers. They didn't even see her standing there. Sound familiar? Because it should. This is happening to thousands of women right now, and the culprit is hiding in plain sight. I need to tell you about the most humiliating moment of my life, the day I realized I had become completely invisible. It was my 58th birthday, and my husband had planned this surprise dinner at our favorite restaurant. I had spent hours getting ready, wearing my best dress, even put on makeup for the first time in weeks. But when I looked in the mirror, something felt off. My bob, the same safe, practical bob I'd been wearing for 3 years, just sat there like a brown helmet on my head. We arrived at the restaurant, and that's when it happened. The hostess looked right past me to my husband and said, "Table for 1?" I was standing right there. I cleared my throat and said, "Actually, table for 2. And she looked genuinely surprised, like I had materialized out of thin air. But it got worse. Throughout dinner, every server spoke only to my husband. When the sommelier came by, he handed the wine menu directly to him, didn't even glance my way. When other couples walked by our table, they'd nod and smile at him, their eyes sliding right over me like I wasn't even there. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, and as I walked past a table of women around my age, women who looked vibrant, confident, seen, I caught a glimpse of myself in the restaurant's mirror, and I finally understood. I had become a ghost. My bob wasn't just unflattering, it was erasing me. It was saying, "Don't look here, nothing interesting to see, just another invisible middle-aged woman who's given up." I stood in that bathroom and cried. Not just because of the haircut, but because I realized how long I'd been disappearing, how many conversations I'd been excluded from, how many times people's eyes had skipped right over me, how many opportunities I'd lost because I had made myself invisible. That night, I made a promise to myself. Never again would I hide behind a haircut that made me disappear. The next morning, I started researching everything I'd been doing wrong, and what I discovered changed everything. There were 5 specific mistakes I was making. Mistakes that were literally aging me and erasing me from every room I entered. But more importantly, I learned exactly how to fix them. 3 months later, I walked into that same restaurant. The hostess smiled and said, "Good evening, beautiful. Right this way." The sommelier spent 10 minutes talking to me about wine pairings. Other women complimented my hair. I felt alive again. That's why I'm making this video. Because if you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever wondered when you disappeared from your own life, if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered where you went, this is for you. Because I'm about to show you the exact 5 bob mistakes that are making you invisible, and more importantly, how to become unforgettable again. Here's what's really happening. Your bob is sending subconscious signals that you've given up, that you're not worth noticing, that you've accepted becoming background scenery in your own life. And the worst part? You probably don't even realize you're doing it. But in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which 5 bob mistakes are making you invisible, and more importantly, the simple fixes that'll have people doing double takes when you walk by. By the end of this video, you'll know how to transform your bob from invisibility cloak to confidence crown. Don't wait until your next birthday to wake up in a bathroom mirror, crying over years you can't get back. Hit subscribe button right now before you keep disappearing in your own story. If you don't subscribe, at least comment and admit why you're choosing invisibility over visibility, because I want to understand that mindset. Mistake 1. The blunt, one-length bob. All right, let's start with the biggest invisible maker of them all. I call this mistake the mom chop. And if you're wincing right now, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. This is when your bob is cut in a perfect straight line all around, usually sitting right at your jawline like a helmet. I get it. It seems practical, low maintenance, safe. But here's the brutal truth. It's the haircut equivalent of wearing a sign that says, "I've stopped trying." Why does this age you? Because it creates a harsh, unflattering frame around your face, emphasizes any jaw heaviness, and screams, "Suburban mom who's given up on style." The fix? Ask your stylist for subtle layers and texture. Even just softening the ends with some light layering will instantly modernize your look and give you movement. Think Amal Clooney, not your neighbor's PTA president. But pause for a second. If you click away without subscribing, you're basically telling yourself you're okay being forgotten. You're okay with people looking right past you. That's a dangerous lie, and you know it. So subscribe now. Mistake 2. The wrong length for your face shape. But that's just the beginning. Mistake number 2 is even more sneaky because it seems like it should work, but it's actually highlighting your worst features. This is when your bob hits at the widest part of your face or neck. If you have a round face and your bob ends right at your cheeks, congratulations, you've just made your face look wider. If you have a square jaw and your bob cuts right across it, you've essentially drawn a box around your face. I see this all the time, and it's heartbreaking because these women think they're choosing a flattering length when they're actually doing the opposite. The fix? Your bob should hit at your most flattering point. For round faces, go longer to elongate. For square faces, try just above or below the jawline to soften those angles. For heart-shaped faces, chin length is your sweet spot. Stop fighting your features and start working with them. Mistake 3. Zero styling effort. Now this one's going to hurt, but someone needs to say it. Your wash-and-go bob is making you look like you've given up on life. I know. You got a bob because it's supposed to be easy. But here's the thing. Even the most expensive bob cut looks frumpy if you just towel dry it and walk out the door. You're basically paying for a haircut and then refusing to wear it properly. This mistake is especially aging because unstyled hair has no volume, no shape, and no personality. It's like buying a designer dress and wearing it wrinkled. The fix? Spend literally 3 minutes with a round brush and blow dryer. Add some texture spray for grip. Flip your ends slightly under or out. Just give it some intention. Even finger drying with a little mousse is better than nothing. Your bob is an investment. Treat it like one. Mistake 4. The color catastrophe. Here's mistake number 4, and this one is brutal. You're pairing your bob with the wrong color, and it's adding 15 years to your face instantly. The biggest culprits? Going too dark, too flat, or too monotone. That solid brown or black bob might seem sophisticated, but it's creating a harsh contrast against your skin that's making every line, every shadow, every imperfection stand out like a neon sign. And don't get me started on the grown-out highlights that look like you've been ignoring your roots for 6 months. Nothing says, "I've lost control of my life," like obvious regrowth. The fix? Add some dimension. Even if you don't want highlights, ask for lowlights or a gloss that adds depth. Soften your natural color by going 1 shade lighter around your face. The goal is to create a gentle transition between your hair and skin, not a harsh line of separation. Mistake 5. Ignoring your hair texture. And finally, mistake number 5. You're fighting your natural hair texture instead of working with it. And it shows. If you have curly hair and you're straightening your bob into submission every day, it's going to look fried, flat, and lifeless. If you have fine hair and you're trying to create volume with a blunt cut, you're going to look like you're wearing a pancake on your head. This mistake is so common because we think we need to force our hair into a specific shape, but the most beautiful bobs work with your natural texture, not against it. The fix? Embrace what you've got. Curly girls. Ask for a bob that's cut to enhance your natural curl pattern. Fine-haired ladies. Go for layers and texture that create the illusion of thickness. Thick-haired women. Work with your density. Don't fight it. Your hair is trying to help you look amazing. Stop sabotaging it. Now, remember my friend from the beginning? After she fixed these 5 mistakes, got some layers, found her perfect length, started actually styling her bob, added some color dimension, and worked with her natural texture. She sent me another email. Her husband complimented her hair for the first time in years. Her colleagues started including her in conversations. Even the barista at her local coffee shop started remembering her order, because when you feel visible, you are visible. So here's what I want you to do right now. Look in the mirror and identify which of these mistakes you're making. Then comment below and tell me your biggest bob struggle. I read every single comment, and I love helping you solve these problems. And if this video opened your eyes to what your bob could be doing to you instead of for you, smash that like button and subscribe for more hair transformations that'll change how the world sees you, because you deserve to be seen, noticed, and remembered. Your bob should be your crown, not your invisibility cloak. Next week, I'm breaking down the 7 styling mistakes that are making your hair look flat and lifeless. You won't believe number 4. See you in the next one.